Hello, my name is Elmer Moore, and I'm project team lead for Scale Up Milwaukee, and we're going to have another Google Hangout with Erik Thomas, founder and grower at GETTER. Erik, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hey guys, Erik Thomas, and I've been doing this now, I guess, for about 9 months. So essentially, GETTER is a SaaS product or technology that lives up in the cloud, and we help companies market better to their customers.
So when you say that, the first thing I hear, Erik, is that you're actually growing a company that's going to help other companies grow. What are you doing to take your idea from just that, an idea, to something that's going to, change the world?
Sure. So that's a good question. I guess the things that we are probably doing the most is talking with customers, potential customers, to really kind of understand the pain points that we're trying to solve, or we think we're trying to solve, are really pain points out there within the industry. And kind of through that evolution of talking with customers, kind of showing them what it is we're doing from a technology standpoint, kind of validates the goal that we have is really to change the world.
Okay. So let's play a game. If you were
Sure.
A $5 million company tomorrow, what would you be doing different to grow than you're doing now?
Right. And you're saying with a product like GETTER?
Yes. No. I mean, GETTER itself, you as the executive of GETTER, what are you going to be doing different with $5 million in revenue that you're not doing now?
Oh, I see the question. Okay. So I think what we'll be able to do is we will be able to take the same technology that we're building right now, that is being designed for a very kind of narrow vertical. We have a smaller kind of target audience or target customers right now than we would if we were at a revenue of $5 million. We'd have more liquidity, more cash to be able to bring in some additional talent, potentially try out more markets that we know the product will work for, but we just don't have the funds right now to be able to validate that. So I think that would be probably the things that might be different.
So how big can GETTER be?
Good question. So if I'm going to dream a little, I guess GETTER could grow to $1 billion company, and the reason I guess I feel that is.
Wait, and I'm going to interrupt you for a second.
Sure.
So when you say $1 billion company, are you referring to a company with $1 billion in revenue, or a company worth $1 billion?
Yeah. Yes. Why? What else? What else might it be? In assets and all of those other things?
I mean, you could have a market cap or a valuation of $1 billion, but you could be doing far less than that in revenue annually. So I just wanted to clarify.
Yes. Yeah. I think the opportunity for kind of all of the technologies that we will be that will kind of come as a result of our core technology would allow us to be able to generate that sort of revenue. And yeah, I mean, I guess how would we achieve that? I mean, in my mind, I think our technology has the promise to potentially save human lives in the future. And with that sort of technology, I think, both public and private sectors of business could benefit from it.
Wow. So I'm excited to hear that you're thinking on that level and that scale. But I guess the simpler question is, you're going to get to a place where you're operating and you're profitable. Why bother to continue growing to such a degree?
Well, I guess for me, it's probably a personal thing. I I'm the guy that, likes to try new foods every time he goes out. When we're taking vacations with my family, we try not to go to the same place over and over and over again. We want that change. We want those new experiences. And I think as the CEO of a company, or as the CEO of this company, I want that in my everyday work. So it's a little selfish to say that. I don't want the company to remain stagnant. I guess that's the personal side. And then I think if you look historically at businesses who kind of set it and forget it, they found that, this is the one thing we're good at, and we've perfected it. Those are the companies that end up failing because they never do anything else. So there's that side of it as well.
I agree with you 100%. So you're doing a software business. You're high tech. You're all the things that both coasts are clamoring to claim as their specialty.
Yeah.
But you're building this in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Yeah. Yes.
Why here?
Well, that is a question that is asked pretty frequently, actually. So I was born and raised here. About 5 years ago, I took a job actually out on one of the coasts in Boston and worked there for about 4 years. During that, I was actually only about 15 minutes from MIT, right near Harvard, and ended up kind of having a few encounters with people there where I realized, I may not have gone to an Ivy League college, but some of these people just were doing these things that they felt was so amazing and was so revolutionary. But in reality, it was like, the upgraded toaster or things that in the grand scheme of things, they're not huge in my mind. So through that, I kind of started to really think of to myself, like, hey, out of all the ideas that have been spinning around in my head, what can I do one of these? We have these people here who, supposedly are the smartest in the world. I think I can do something like this. And that's when I realized, hey, the only way this is going to work is if I'm with my family, with my wife, my kids there to support me. And at the same time, I love Milwaukee. It's a great place to raise a family. It's a great place to, just kick it with your friends. And, there's what's not to like, I guess.
I hear you. So if I could ask you to share some advice or counsel to, business owners around the world about what they should be doing to some sort of embed some growth into their plans and to really, jumpstart their hockey stick, we'll call it, what would you say?
That's a good question. I don't know. I've worked in corporate for close to 16 years of my career, and to kind of be out of it now for coming on at 10 months, almost 11 months. I know there's kind of trials and tribulations with being able to kind of launch your growth from a company that's been around for 20, 30, maybe even 100 years. But I guess for the people that are in power in those companies, the CEOs, the directors, the executives, those are the people that can really, I should say, those are really the only people that can make that happen. So figure out a way. Figure out a way to not be the Kodaks of the world, but to be the Apples.
Interesting. All right. So I'd love for you to introduce your company and give some contact information for anyone that wants to learn more. And we'll think about wrapping up after one more question.
Sure. So essentially what Getter's technology is trying to do is it's trying um, to make light and bring awareness to how companies are interacting and communicating with their customers. A lot of companies, especially the larger companies, there's a lot of disconnect between the executives, the directors, the CEOs even, where the vision has been cast on, our ideal customer is, let's say, a 35-year-old white female who lives in New York, and she is a full price shopper who drives a Prius, right? That's the vision that's been cast. Now, what happens is a lot of times companies then, um, the people who are actually executing those communications, those marketing emails, the website designs, things of that nature, that gets lost at that level. And that's a serious problem because number one, there's a lot of time, effort, and money that goes into kind of creating that brand and creating that ideal customer communication. And when it gets lost, you're turning customers off. You're burning money. And how do you validate that, I guess, or how do you even check that when you're at a company like Gap size? You can't ask every single customer, what email did you get today, or how was your communication, or having a survey with every single interaction just isn't realistic. So the technology we developed, I'm sure you've heard of this term, virtual shopper. We've essentially created the virtual the virtual shopper of the internet. And with that, we're able to, for the first time, benchmark and understand how companies are really missing the boat with their customers. In a scale that is just unprecedented. I mean, we can do this from 10, 20, 30,000 customers at a time in a matter of minutes. So that's the cool thing. That's the thing that really gets me excited. I mean, I can obviously use industry terms that like cloud and big data and Internet of Things. I mean, these are all things we're doing, but in reality, we're trying to make the online experience, whatever that is, mobile, internet, email, better for the customer and better for the organizations that are communicating with them.
And how does someone get in contact with you?
I'm sorry, what was that?
How does someone get in contact with you?
Sure. You can email me at hello@getter.io.
Easy enough. Erik, thanks so much for talking to us, and thank you for watching this Hangout. We're proud to present Scale Up Milwaukee is always interested in talking about growth, and I hope you will get in touch. We are at ScaleUp_MKE on Twitter, and you can find us on Facebook and our YouTube channel. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
All right. Thanks, Elmer.